Hey guys, so it's time for the first challenge of the NYX Face Awards 2013, and the theme for this challenge is Vintage Beauty. Now I took my inspiration from the glamorous 1960s, complete with Marilyn Monroe bold red lips and cat eyeliner, and even the signature beauty mark. So stay tuned for the tutorial if you're interested in seeing how I completed this look, and I'd really appreciate if you supported me by voting on the NYX Face Awards homepage, and I'll leave the link below as well as somewhere in the video that you can always click over there and check out the other videos as well as show your support by voting. Thank you so much guys for your support, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye! So the first thing we're going to start off with today is the skin. We're going to get it perfected so we have a great base for our makeup. So to begin, you want to make sure that your skin is clean and moisturized, and that your moisturizer had a chance to kind of sit on the skin for a few minutes and fully absorb. Then since we're going for a flawless face, the next thing I'm going to do is apply a foundation primer, and this one is a mattifying one that also covers pores, and this is going to give our skin a smooth canvas to work our foundation over. So apply that all over your skin and let it set for a couple of minutes. So once your primer is set, you want to go ahead and grab your foundation. I'm using the NYX HD Studio Photogenic Foundation, and this is in Warm Sand. I'm going to grab a couple of pumps of that on a makeup palette, and I'm going to go ahead and apply this to my face. Just go ahead and apply that foundation all over your skin and buff it in. So while we give the foundation a couple of minutes to settle into our skin, let's go ahead and do our under eye concealer. I'm just applying that directly under my eyes. And I'm making sure to get in the inner corners of my eyes and completely conceal that area because it can give a shadowy effect. Now I'm going to go in and do a little bit of contouring or a little bit of shading on my skin, and back then the contouring and the highlighting was not extreme. It was very subtle and it just gave a very glamorous effect. So I'm going to go ahead and do just the bridge of my nose with a deeper shade of foundation. Just do a little bit of a stripe there, and then just very little by the hollows of my cheeks. And you want to make sure you do all your cream products at once before you start doing powder. I'm just blending that contour in, making sure to get it blended into the foundation that we have down. So you'll just see a very subtle shadow where my cheekbone is. Then I'm going in with a smaller brush on the bridge of my nose, and I'm just blending that into the crease, the hollow of my eye right there, and along the bridge of my nose. Not going too far down, concentrating it right at the edge of my eyebrow and downwards onto the bridge of my nose. Now to ensure that that doesn't look too harsh, I'm going to go ahead and blend some of my foundation down the bridge of my nose. Not a lighter foundation or a lighter color, just my foundation color itself. Blend it down the bridge of my nose and at the edges under my eyes so it blends in without seeming too harsh. Now that we're finished with all the cream products on our face, we can go ahead and set the makeup with powder. And this is the NYX Mineral Matte Finishing Powder, and it's in medium dark. And we're just going to press the powder over the foundation to set it in place. And we're using pressing motions to press that powder over the foundation so we get a matte finish. Now we're also going to go in and add the contouring powder over the cream contour that we already have down, and this is the NYX Matte Bronzer in Deep Tan, and we're just very lightly going to apply that right where we applied our cream contour. And don't forget where we put it on the nose and eyebrow area. Set it very lightly with the powder. And now we're ready to move on to the eyes. So here's an up close view of the look we're going for. So let's get right into it. The first thing I'm going to do is fill in my brows, and I'm going to use the NYX Eyebrow Cake Powder in Brunette. And it has 2 dark powders here, so I'm going to mix them and fill in my brows lightly. We're not being too deliberate or sharp with the shape because the brows in that era were very natural looking, just groomed, but not overly done. So I'm just lightly brushing that powder through the sparse areas just to fill them in a bit and darken them up, but I'm not being too exact and not creating any sharp lines. Now I'm just going to grab the NYX eyebrow marker in Deep and thicken up the tail of my brow to match the style of the brow in that era. They had thicker tails or thicker ends to the brows than we do today. So just thicken that up with the brow marker. Light feathery strokes to create that shape. Then I'm just gonna finish them off with a little bit of brow gel, just clear brow gel, just to set them in place so they're not all over the place. Now once you have the brows done, we can start with the eyes. And to start, I'm gonna use my HD eyeshadow base from NYX and just apply a little dab of that. You don't want to get too much. And then blend that out all over the lid up to the brow. And this is gonna help keep the eyeshadows in place and help prevent creasing. Then to add a bit of a neutral color to the lids, I'm going to grab the eyeshadow base in Skin Tone. This is also from NYX. And just lightly blend that out all over the lid to lighten up my lid a bit and create a base for our eyeshadows. The first eyeshadow I'm going to grab is this nude eyeshadow called Maybe Later. And it's a matte nude color. And just pat that on the lid over that eyeshadow base. We're just creating a semicircle shape and keeping that eyeshadow concentrated on the lid area. Then I'm grabbing another matte eyeshadow. This is called Kiss the Day. And it's a matte creamy white or matte ivory color. And I'm going to apply that also on the lid, and that's going to lighten up the nude shade that we placed before. Now that the lid is done, I'm going to grab the same nude eyeshadow and a fluffy blending brush and just create definition in the crease, going in windshield wiper motions just back and forth to define that crease and kind of map it out. And I'm going to grab this matte gray eyeshadow called Craven. And on the same blending brush, just apply that right in the hollows of my eye socket, right where the edges of my eyebrows are, and create a kind of contour right in that little socket area. I'm going to take this eyeshadow over a bit, but not all the way out to the outer corners, just halfway to the middle of the crease. Just keep blending back and forth so that fades out. Then I'm grabbing the medium brown shade from the eyebrow kit. And you can use eyebrow colors for eyeshadows, vice versa eyeshadows for eyebrows, so don't worry about it. Same blending brush, just defining the outer crease area now, but not with that super dark color. We're using a medium brown color for that. Then for my highlight color, I'm just grabbing the same ivory color and a touch of the nude shade and applying that lightly under my brow. And that's just going to add a little brightening effect, but not much of a intense highlight. Then for my lower lash line, I'm just grabbing this Kohl Kajal black liner and applying it very closely to the bottom lash line. The very lash line, you're trying to keep it right below the lashes. You're just trying to deepen them up without applying an intense line. And then I'm going to line my lower waterline with the NYX Wonder Pencil in dark And this is gonna help to brighten up our eyes without being too stark like a white pencil would. So it's best to use a nude on that waterline if you're going for a brightening effect rather than a white. And now for the good stuff, the upper lash line. I'm gonna use my NYX Curve eyeliner, and I'm gonna create a winged shape that starts out very thin on the inner lash line area and then goes out into a thick wing. Now if you see, I kind of sketched the shape, and now I can go back in and fill in within that shape that we created. So go ahead, pull out, make that wing, and fill in the empty space. Now I want that a little bit thicker, so I'm going to go ahead and thicken up the shape just a bit, but I'm still following the same general guidelines that we have, but just making it a little thicker by going right above that line. So we have a nice thick winged eyeliner. Now it's time for mascara, and I'm using the Pin Up Tease mascara from NYX. How appropriate. And don't forget your lower lashes, these are very important. Then I'm going to apply false lashes, and for this I'm using the EL206 lashes, and they're called Fierce Biatch. Imagine that. And they look like this. They're nice full lashes, but they're not too long. So I'm going to apply these and be right back to finish up the rest of the face. Now our face makeup is mostly done, but I'm going to apply a little bit of blush, and I'm just applying a Dusty Rose blush. Very subtle blush. You don't want anything too intense because the blush back then was very subtle. It was just a pretty light flush on the cheeks. It wasn't anything too crazy. And then to finish up the face, I'm going to use this setting spray here. It's the matte finish because we want very matte skin. So close your eyes and spray. Now we're going to do very bright red lips, as was signature for that era. So I'm going to go in with the NYX lip liner in Ruby and line my lips. Now the key to these red lips is to line at the very, very tips of the lip line. So you want your lips to look as full as possible without overlining them. So go very, very precise with your lip line. Now that the lips are lined, I'm going to go in with a lipstick, and this is a matte lipstick from NYX. It's called Perfect Red. And I'm going to fill in the rest of my lips with this color. Now I'm going to go ahead and darken this lip color just a smidgen with a darker lip gloss, and this is just going to give us the look of a deeper red. So there you go guys, that's the completed look. Hopefully you enjoyed the tutorial, and I'd really appreciate it if you supported me by voting for me in the NYX Face Awards Challenge 2013. Thank you so much, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.